What's up guys, John Bird III here, and we're back again for another video. And in today's video, guess what? We got a treat. We're gonna unbox the all new Gen 3 $99 speed spool. Check this out. All right guys, so here we got the brand new $99 speed spool. This is a reel that I am very, very partial to. And I'm gonna tell you why. This reel is a freaking workhorse. So we're gonna do a comparison of Gen 2 and Gen 3, the difference between Gen 2 and Gen 3, and what are you getting. So to start off, in the clip that you just watched, you saw me fishing with the speed spool combo. And I will say that day in that video, first couple casts, I was out there throwing the speed spool combo, throwing a buzz bait on Lake Murray, and caught a freaking 6-pounder within the first 20 minutes of being on the water, going down the bank with a buzz bait. And so that is the way to break in a reel. Like, I freaking love this thing. Y'all know I was a big fan of Gen 2. I pushed Gen 2 a lot. I said it's the best $100 reel on the market. So what are you getting, or what is the difference between Gen 2 and Gen 3? And that's what we're about to go ahead and jump into. So off the rip, completely different frame. So you can see from the top part of the reel, it's a completely different frame. If you look at the front part of the reel, completely different frame. And also if you look on the sides of it, completely different frame. So you're getting a completely different frame reel, right? That is the biggest difference between Gen 2 and Gen 3. Now, one thing I did notice while being on the water with the Gen 3 model compared to Gen 2, I can tell just a slight difference in the braking as far as being able to dial this reel in compared to Gen 2. And I felt like I was able to, like I said, really dial it in compared to the Gen 2. Not to say that you can't do that with Gen 2, but I'm saying like there's definitely a slight difference that if you're a guy like me that really pays attention to this stuff, you can tell that there's a difference between Gen 2 and Gen 3. So that was one of the things that I noticed. So to go along with that, like with the all new frame design, you're still going to get 4 gear ratios. So this comes in a 5.6, a 6.8, a 7.5, and an 8.3. So you're getting 4 gear ratios in this reel. So one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of guys today want to use one reel platform. And what I mean by that is one style of frame, but have multiple gear ratios. So you have a guy, he'll go out and he'll buy 10 of the $99 speed spools, for example. He'll buy a couple in 5.6, a couple in 6.8s, a couple in 7.5s, and a couple in 8.3s. And so that way, when he puts one rod down and picks up another, it feels the same in hand. And that's something, like I said, that I've noticed a lot. And this year and going into next season, I'm partially starting to do the same thing, but I would like to have maybe 3, 4 at the max reel platforms that I use consistently. And we'll talk about that in a totally different video. But for the purpose of this video, $99 speed spool is legit. So one thing that you noticed in the previous generation, it had 15 pounds of drag. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like I really don't think that your average person know how much 15 pounds of drag really means. Like that's a lot. And so you see in some reels, they have 10, 11 pounds of drag. Like majority of the luge reels in entire arsenal have 20, with an exception of the $99 speed spool, and there may be one or two others, but majority of them have 20. But if you knew how much 5 pounds of drag was, you would be like, dang, 15, and this reel comes with 15, you would be blown away. Well, that was something that I found out talking with one of my buddies, and we was testing some stuff, and that's how I figured it out. And he kind of showed me like what people don't really realize how much drag when it says 15 pounds of drag that really is. So pretty cool experiment. But one thing I will say, like I've said this in multiple videos, my last video on the best $100 reel on the market, when I talked about Gen 2 $99 speed spool, I said that was the best $100 reel on the market, period. And still to this day, you can't tell me another reel that's on the market that's $100 that can outdo the $99 Speed Spool. To be frank, when the $99 Speed Spool came out, it was the best $100 reel on the market then. Those same reels that have been updated in the past, talking about loose competitors that have been updated in the past, are now like 120, 130. This reel still outperforms those same reels. And so I will put this reel up against a lot of other reels, and I know it's going to run. One of my biggest things that I always say about the $99 Speed Spool, you can throw it into the middle of a war, let a bomb blow up, let a tank roll over it, let it sit there for 5 years, go back, pick it up, and guess what? That sucker is going to run. That is why I love the $99 Speed Spool. It's a very simplistic reel. There's nothing pretty about it, but it just runs. And again, for me, like, this is a do-all reel. 7.5 to 1, you can do everything. Texas rig, jigs, bladed jigs, spinner baits, frogging, flipping, everything. And if you want to go down for cranking, just like in my Gen 2s, I have a 6.8 that I crank with. If you're one of them old school guys, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, I like to throw those 5-speed reels. So we got a 5.6 to 1 for you. For whenever you're cranking, we got you covered with this reel. And so I will say, I really love the new design of the frame. It looks pretty slick, if I had to be honest with you. Like, I love the Gen 2 frame because it fit my hands really well. But I will say that this new frame here it's a little more rounded. It's a little more rounded. This has a little bit more points to it, like I said on the top part, but this one here is a little more rounded, but you still have some of the same old points. But again, I mean, it's a great reel. It's a workhorse. I mean, what else do you need? Like, you need a reel that is going to run. And so one thing here that I will go ahead and tell you. So again, you still got your click and drag here. Now, the tensioner knob. Now, this is a feature that I wish that this reel had, but again, like, you don't necessarily really need it. It doesn't have, the gas pedal is not the clicking one. So we're used to hearing like a clicking audible tensioner knob or gas pedal. As I say, you don't have that, but you have your recessed breakdown. And that is one thing I like too, because now it's a little bit more tucked away. I never had an issue with accidentally turning this knob on the Gen 2, but this looks a little bit more, how can you say, like higher end. You see a lot of higher end reels, they tuck or recess the breakdown, and that is something that I like about here. So again, the frame looks a whole lot better. Again, you're still getting really good drag. It's going to hold a ton of line, and again, you're still going to be able to make long casts. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for the best $100 reel that you can get your hands on, you need to go and check out the $99 Speed Spool, the Gen 3. Now, Tackle Warehouse has a sale on the Gen 2s right now. I don't know what specific models, but they had the Gen 2s on sale already marked down at, I think it might have been like 10 or 15% off. I think it might have been 10. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this. But I think with their Christmas sale, they got another sale going on. I think they call it the 12 days of Christmas or something like that. Their reel's gonna be marked down. You might be able to get that Gen 2 at some additional costs off of that. So definitely check that out. But if they don't have the particular gear ratio, or they don't have, if you're right-handed, they only have left-handed ones, go with the Gen 3. You still might be able to get that on the deal. I know some guys got a lot of the new products in the Black Friday or Black November sale back in November from Tackle Warehouse. They was able to get a lot of new products that just released. They was able to get them for 20% off. So definitely go ahead and check this reel out. Again, this particular model is going to be a workhorse reel in my arsenal. I mean, it's just going to be a reel that I'm going to use for everything. And again, you can't go wrong with it. Some guys, and this is to all my youth. All right, I'm going to be very, very frank with you on this. You don't have to have some of the most fanciest equipment out there in order to get out there and catch fish, right? You need a reel that is you're gonna be able to make long casts with, because when you're throwing crankbaits, you want to make long casts. Throwing bladed jigs, you want to be able to make long casts. Anything where you're going to be moving it, you want to be able to make sure you make long casts. Also, like football jigs if you're fishing offshore, big worms, stuff like that. So you need a reel that's going to make long casts, reels that are easy to dial in, meaning that it helps you to have very minimum backlashes. So once you set your gas pedal just right, once you set your brake pedal just right, again, tensioner knob, gas pedal, brake pedal, or your brakes, once you set that just right, It'll help you to be able to have minimum backlashes. So you want a reel that's easy to dial in. That's what I mean by that. But also you need a reel that is going to last you a very, very long time. Longevity. Fishing is expensive. I don't care. I don't care what you got to say. Fishing is a very expensive sport. So you need to buy equipment that will last you a long time. You need equipment that is going to be durable. The $99 Speed Spool is a very, very durable reel. It is a reel that, like I said, you can put it in some of the worst conditions and it's just gonna run. There are people that I know that still have Gen 1s and Gen 2s that are consistently running and they put it through the paces. There was a YouTube video I watched a while ago. They talked about, it might have been Debo's Fishing. He talked about the Gen 2 $99 Speed Spool, and he talked about how the way that he tested it, he put 50 or 65 pound braid on there and went frogging with it, and it runs. My partner that I fish with in the Fisherman, he loves the $99 Speed Spool. He frogs with it, he throws traps with it. He literally does everything with the $99 Speed Spool. So, to all my youth, is it cool to have some of the fancy, cool reels? Yes, they really are. Are there advantages for using or having those reels? Yes. But at the end of the day, do you really need it? No. You just need a reel that's going to cast long, that's going to be durable, that is going to be able to be easy to dial in so you can have minimum backlashes, and a reel that's going to last you a long time. And that is what you're going to get with the $99 Speed Spool. Nah, it's not as pretty as some of these other reels, but I'm telling you, this is a reel that is going to work. I mean, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to run, and it is what it is. It is the best $100 reel that you can buy on the market to date. And if you disagree, put your comment down below and tell me what's the best $100 reel on the market. I pretty much know what everybody's going to say, but I'm here to tell you from personal experience, just cutting it straight to the chase. All the reels that I've used, especially at $100, this is the best reel that you can buy. But it is what it is. So that's it for today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever new videos come out. But that's it on the Gen 3 $99 Speed Spool. I hope you like this feedback, and make sure you leave a comment down below if you've already picked this reel up already, because it's been out for a little while, and let me know your initial reactions of it. Also, if you have Gen 2 or even a Gen 1, tell me your experience with the Gen 1 or Gen 2 $99 Speed Spool and give me some feedback on that as well. I'm JB3. I got to get back to living the dream. I'll catch you later.